friends. Okay, so today's video is all about Lent. I'm going to talk about Lent because Lent is less than 2 weeks away. And so this is the time I really start thinking about Lent and what I want to do, different ideas, all the things. It's kind of like Advent. Like I like to get everything done before Advent so that when Advent comes, I can focus on Jesus, the coming of Jesus. Well, Lent is the same thing. It's like I'm preparing for Easter. And so I'm getting all my ducks in a row so that I can really focus and be intentional about my Lenten season. So something that I've done is I've made a checklist. So I'm gonna go over the checklist. I also have tons of new ideas for activities for kids that are so good. But before I get into that, I just wanna really quickly, briefly tell you that next week we are launching, me and my friend Nicole, we are launching a podcast. And so if you're giving up, you know, YouTube or something like that during Lent, you can go check out our podcast. The first one will be on my channel, so you can kind of watch us both, but pretty much it's me and one of my best friends. We're gonna be talking about Catholicism and all of that. So it'll be all about the introduction of our podcast. And so definitely check that out. I'll be here live, or not live, but it will be live next week on Wednesday. So definitely come back and check that out. Okay, so I want to get into this because this really helps me stay in line and know what I need to do so that when Lent comes, I'm ready. So the first one is to write down your prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And so I would just either get a piece of paper. I have over on my website like sheets you can like brainstorm. I have tons of ideas if you're like, what do I want to do? But usually most Catholics, they do those 3 things. I will say if you want to do the 54-day rosary novena this year, I do it the last couple years I've done where on Ash Wednesday I will start it, and so that's part of my Lenten, like, you know, fast or prayer, is I'll do an extra rosary every day. And then it ends on Divine Mercy Sunday. That's 54 days, and I love it. And if you don't know how to pray the rosary, this is the perfect time to learn the rosary. I have a whole video explaining step by step what to do. You pray the entire rosary with me. So I'll link that down below, and I also have sheets to cross it. I have tons of resources over on my website. So I'll link everything down below after the video. You'll definitely want to check those out. But so what do you want to pray? What do you want to fast on? You know, give up chocolate, give up music, give up Instagram, give up, you know, whatever it is. I think we all know what those things are. Things that are a little bit hard that will challenge us. Also, almsgiving, you know, is there something special and extra you can do this year for God, to glorify God, whether it's giving money or your time or your talent to God. All right, the next thing on the list is have a devotional. So I found this at the thrift store. I'm so excited. This is Scott Hahn. Anything by Scott Hahn is excellent, so good. But this is Lenten Reflections. Also, Blessed Is She has a great one every single year. They're so good. But through the years, I've had several different ones that are really good. I'll link a ton down below. If you're looking for some type of devotional where it really like focuses in on growing closer to Christ during this Lenten season. Okay, the next one is to get a purple cloth. I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time that I have a purple cloth, but I'm super excited about it because during Holy Week, so in the church, they cover all of the sacramentals. So if you go in the church, you'll see all the sacramentals, they are dripped with purple cloth. And that is kind of to represent the emptiness. You know, Jesus isn't here anymore, and it's like very intentional. And so I just got this from Walmart, and I like it because it's flimsy and easy to use, but it like definitely will help the kids to remember like what the season is. Also, make sure to check out what time Ash Wednesday is. Every Ash Wednesday is probably different at your parish, so check out the times for that. Plan a time for silence with Jesus. So maybe get up 15 minutes earlier during the, you know, when you wake up in the morning and spend that time with Jesus. But really, having silence during Lent is so good. That's why, like, you know, turning off YouTube or Instagram or whatever, that can be a really good thing for a lot of people. So discern that. Also, if you want any new meatless meals, you know, every Friday of the entire year, but it's really emphasized during Lent, meatless meals. So I have a ton over on my website. I'll put them all, my favorites, down below. You can kind of start thinking about Holy Week so that when Holy Week comes, like, you're not like in a rush. But I have also on my website just tons of ideas on what to do on Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And even like the days before, like I have this whole system and it's awesome. It really works well. So just kind of think about that as well. Also, like Easter outfits, things like that, spring cleaning. I usually during Holy Week will do spring cleaning. So if you wanted to start during Lent, like do the 40 days of, you know, spring cleaning type of thing, like that can be a part of your mortification if you're a homemaker like me. Also, I like to get started on buying Easter gifts. That way, when Easter morning happens, I am not, you know, going crazy. But like our Holy Week, I try to like slowly accumulate those things starting now. Something else to do is go to confession. So once a year as a Catholic, we have to go to confession. That's, if you're a Catholic, that's what we have to do. And so why not go during Lent? They say to go at least once a month, but if you can, you know, if you don't do that and you want to go just once a year, Lent is a great time because it's such a cleansing thing, and you know, it's a purification just like Lent is. So so go to confession. And I have, if you haven't been in years, I have step by step what to do and how to go to confession. It is so beautiful, and just you'll feel like $1 million after. It's so good. Okay, so something you might want to check out is Stations of the Cross. So most Catholic parishes have Stations of the Cross at their parish Friday nights, and it is such a beautiful devotional. And pretty much you get together with your parish and you go through Stations of the Cross, and it walks you through the Passion of Christ. It is so beautiful. It's intense, but in such a good way. It's such a good reflection of how much God loves you and what He did for you. So most churches have that. We usually do Stations of the Cross at our house because we have little ones. We will eventually get to church, but I have these poster boards, and so it walks you through the Stations of the Cross. And so that's what we'll do most Fridays, even during the year, not just for Lent, but for us, we do it through the entire year. They also, over at Holy Heroes, I'll link all this below, but they have lots of different resources. And something that might be helpful are these. This is Station of the Cross. My children love these, but because stations can be a little bit long for little kids, if you do go to the parish, just have a couple of things on hand like this. So this is awesome. So it's like, this is a little paintbrush with water. So it's just water, and pretty much they can paint along with the different Stations of the Cross. And so this keeps them busy for so long. Plus they're like, it's just beautiful colors, and they're kind of following along, but in their own little, you know, 2 to 3 year old way. Like my little 4-year-old is obsessed with these. They're so good and they're perfect. She could do it for hours. So things like that will really help them to kind of stay and do their thing so that you can reflect. You can always do that at home too. Or there's also like little things like this where it's a coloring book. So if you wanted something like that where they could just color along, and every week you have them color a little bit more while you do the Station of the Cross, that's a way that you could do it as well. But I just encourage you, as a family, do Station of the Cross. Whether you're at home or at the church, they are so amazing, so powerful. It's such a great reminder of what God did for us every Friday. So another thing to do is to tell your children about Lent, which can be a little bit hard sometimes, the littler they are, but there are so many great activities out there that will help them. Over at Shining Light Dolls, one of my favorite stores, it's an online Catholic store, and they usually have lots of toys. If you're looking for Easter toys, they're the ones. But they have, this is new this year. I bought this one and it's so good. So pretty much what you do is, it has this bag, and inside of the bag what you do is there's all these there's two different things. So there's something like this. So this is a thorn, and then there's also little flowers, but they're really cute and dainty little flowers. And so pretty much what you do is you fill up the whole board with these thorns. So pretty much you fill up the whole board, and then what happens is so you fill it up during Ash Wednesday, the first day, and so every day your kids, you can tell them that they can do good deeds or they can do small sacrifices. So you could, you know, empty the dishwasher for Zachary and not even tell him. And so what you would do is you take off a thorn, and then you would put one of these little flowers right there. And so the goal is to have all the thorns gone by the time that Easter Sunday happens, and it's all full of flowers. So I thought that was so beautiful and such like a great way to connect with, oh, my sacrifice and my good deeds really make a difference for Jesus. You know, you can tell him that's how it is when we actually do good deeds and sacrifices for each other. It's actually making it easier for Jesus. So I love that. I'll link that down below. Another activity you could do is these are little postcards. You could get these. I got these from Holy Heroes. And pretty much what you do is every single day during Lent, you send somebody a postcard and you just pretty much tell them that you're praying for them. And so I love it because all of these, they're all different pictures, but it's pretty neat, and pretty much it says your intentions are being remembered in our Lenten prayers and sacrifice. And so you could always write like a little note down there or say, Nona and Papa, we love you, we're praying for you. And then, you know, just put their address and a stamp, and then you send it in the mail. So as a family, every day you could do different one. Teachers at school, your priest, we have the Poor Clares here, we could send them these. Just anybody in your family. I feel like this is such a good idea. So if you're looking for something like that, they have different pictures on them too. You can do that. So I'll link this down below if you and your family want to do this activity. So a lot of these are Holy Heroes, but I love it because I feel like they've really thought out like what would kids like. So this is one too. This is like Road to Easter map, Lenten adventure. So pretty much every day of Lent they go through, and what they do is they have a code. They're gonna decode what they're gonna do. So pretty much they're gonna, by the time Easter comes, they'll have a code that they have discovered. All right, so this is a really neat activity for kids. This is Sacrifices for Jesus, and my friend Julie actually told me about this one. So pretty much you get like a big jar like this, and you say Sacrifices for Jesus. And so every time that your children do a good sacrifice or a good deed, they can pretty much take these. These are just white beans, dried beans, and they put it in. And so all during Lent, they're hopefully gonna, you know, start filling up the jar. And then on Easter morning, you switch out each bead. For every bead, they get a jelly bean. And so it's a kind of neat way to like realize turning something that's really hard into something that's beautiful for God. So so over on my website, I have so many more ideas. So if you are interested, I'll link down below. But pretty much there's so many ideas to help kids to understand how we can sacrifice for God and how important that is in our faith to walk the journey with him during this Lenten season, because he did so much for us, and these little sacrifices are nothing. And it's really important to teach our children early on how important sacrificing and offering up and doing good deeds are. So this is a great way to start. My family, we started praying the rosary during Lent. So maybe you're like, we've been wanting to pray the family rosary and I don't know if it's a good time. Well, maybe during Lent you can do it and then see if that worked for 40 days. And if not, be like, okay, we tried it, it wasn't for us. Or maybe you tried it last year, you want to try it again. For us, that's how we started praying the rosary every night. So we started during Lent, and then Lent ended and we just kept going because we realized, okay, this is a good season for our life to do the family rosary. Or you could do Divine Mercy Chaplet or whatever it is. But this is a good time, I feel like, to really dive into the Catholic faith with ourselves interiorly, but also our family, our children, our husband. It's so good. So anyway, I hope that these helped you. And until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.